We sold our house very quickly. Someone knocked on the door one day and offered us an amount to shift, and we said yes, and then we were a bit stuck. Where are we going to live? And my husband was keen to live in a retirement village, and we looked at a few, and then we came here. He fell in love with it. It took me a little longer, but back then there wasn't as many villas, so we had a look at the apartments and we just loved it. We've got quite a big balcony and we look out over the golf course and the Maribyrnong River. It's just peaceful and lovely, and I did ask my family, do you think we can live in a little apartment after living in a family home? And my son said, Mum, there'll be a bit of an adjustment, but I think you can do it. And we've loved it ever since. We didn't know anybody, and when we moved in there wasn't that many people in the apartments either. I think there was only 3 or 4 other people, and everyone was so friendly and wanted to include you in everything they did, and you could do it or you didn't have to do it, which was perfect. We just love the fact now that all the apartments are full now, and we've made some lovely friends. At first they were just surprised at how lovely it was, and it was like walking into a resort. And my sister and her husband came to visit us and ultimately bought a villa. So she lives here too, her and her husband, because they loved it too. They're very surprised at how luxurious it is, the look of it. But everyone's so down to earth, and of course the wetlands win everybody over. The grandchildren, they love coming here, and we usually have a swim and they play table tennis, and they bring their bikes and scooters sometimes and whiz around the village. When they do come, they always say, can we go and visit the ducks? So we do the trail down to the wetlands. And there's a group of us ladies that I met 6 years ago. We call ourselves the Melbourne Appreciation Society, and we just go into the city and we always go and get the tram, because it's only 10 minutes down the road if you walk, 2 minutes if you drive. Sometimes my husband and I go into the city, we drive to the station and get the train, and that's easy too. So it's wonderful location. Shops around the corners, public transport. There's a bus at the door if you want to catch the bus and not walk down to the tram. I think when people say, I don't think we're old enough, they're wrong. They're so wrong. We came in here when we were in our late 60s, and even that was probably a little late, because it's just a joy to be here. And if you come in when you're in your 60s, or even you can come at 55, that gives you 30 years here. It's perfect. So if you are thinking about it and you think you're too young, have another think, because you're probably not. I'm never frightened here. If my husband's away for the night, I'm not frightened. I feel quite secure here. And even through COVID, it was a wonderful place to live, because you could go for a walk and always find someone to even just say hello to. Whereas if we had been in our house, we wouldn't have seen a soul. We lived in Ascot Vale. It wasn't the best area where we lived, and so I shouldn't be saying this, cut this. We won't talk about that. But I feel very secure here. They're lovely, the apartments. When you walk into our apartment, you walk into a lounge room, dining room, kitchen area, and then you walk through and there's 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and we have 2 balconies. We have a lovely big balcony out the front, spend a lot of time there, and then there's a smaller balcony off the bedroom. We spend a lot of time out there too. In the winter we get all the beautiful winter sun out there. Here at Rivervue we have got the pool, the gym, and we have a podiatrist come, a hairdresser come to visit, and we use all of those. It's been wonderful, because we had quite a big property, and my husband it took him a long time to mow, and he just loves the fact he doesn't have to mow. And the most gardening we do is some pot plants. And when we first moved in, he wanted to know when he had to take the rubbish out, and was so thrilled to hear that, no, you don't have to do that, because someone else does that for you. So it's just so low maintenance here. The time's all your own. I would probably tell them to come more than once, have a look around, come back, have another look around. As many times as they feel comfortable doing it, then make the big decision, and they would never regret it, because it's just the perfect place to live. To me it is. I'm sure they would be very, very happy here. But it's one of those things you don't always know when you first walk in that this is where you want to live, and you do need to revisit it a few times. Most people have, but make the decision and you'll never be sorry. I believe my next stage of life has really begun here at Rivervue.